Hello everybody and welcome back to the F1 My Team Career Mode with me, Dan, and the Radiant Racing team. Of course it's Wednesday, which means it's less than a week to go until F1 2022 comes out, and well, F1 22 comes out, I should say, is the new naming convention. But for now we will return to Russia. Unfortunately we do not have the Ukraine support livery on because I'm a muppet and keep hitting accept to go to the race before I can go back and change it. Having said that, we then wore the livery twice last season because I'm an idiot and forgot to change it back. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you know when the next video is uploaded. Spoiler alert, it will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock, exactly the same as every other one this season. As we get onto the starting grid and we finally line up on the front row alongside Sergio Perez, the current dominant Red Bull driver, alongside Sean Galeo and Charles Leclerc behind us in P4. Then we have current second place drivers champion Max Verstappen alongside Pierre Gasly, followed by Lando Norris and the other Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. Rounding out the top 10, we have two world champions, Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. Following them are the two teammates, Valtteri Bottas, he's alongside Esteban Ocon. Then we have Yuki Tsunoda in P13 alongside Daniel Ricciardo in P14. Lance Stroll returns to P15, unsurprisingly, as George Russell returns to P16. Mick Schumacher lines up alongside Nicholas Latifi in the Alfa Romeo and the Williams. Then we have Jack Aitken and Antonio Giovinazzi on the penultimate row, followed by the two Hasses of Christian Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin. Well, here we go. We haven't been on the front row for a little while, to my knowledge, so away we go with the Russian Grand Prix. It actually looks as though Sean Galeo's had a very good start compared to us. He actually goes round the outside into the Russian version of whatever this corner is, Curva Grande. I don't even know. There's some jostling going on in the background. We go out the inside of our teammate, take a bit of curb there. May have been some contact, or he just decided to back out of it really quickly. Behind him, though, Charles Leclerc still managing to defend from Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen actually drops a position now to the AlphaTauri. Pierre Gasly moves up into 4th place. Max Verstappen having an absolute dog of a weekend. This is exactly the opposite of what he was hoping to get. I think the reliability now of the cars is really starting to show its true colours. On the reliability development side of things, Red Bull have the 3rd most unreliable car, only behind us and Haas. So they must be having a really rough time of it. Perez must be running some new components that he hasn't used yet. Max Verstappen, on the other hand, probably second hand. As we go aboard with our start, you can see initially we actually got away quite well, and then Perez started to pull away as we sort of span the wheels up a bit, and then had to hit the overtake button down the run to turn 1 or 2, depending on how you look at things. Shut the door on our teammate just so he doesn't get any bright ideas early on. This was his start. Gets away fairly cleanly, actually quite well matched to the Red Bull, and dipping out of the slipstream there, I think, is what actually cost him. Somehow we were much faster in a straight line. I think it's because we left the overtake on a bit longer than he did, as and he took, of course, evasive action to get out of our way there. As we rejoin on lap 3, of course, we're going to get the DRS for the first time on this run around. We'll see if we can get any closer to the back of the Red Bull. There he is, up ahead. He's still just about within a second. Again, another circuit, much like Monza, we just struggled to find the pace. And it was only when we had a very lucky lap at the end of Q3 that we managed to string together something good enough for the second row of the grid. And no, I am not driving around really slowly to get in everyone's way during qualifying, just in case anyone was thinking it. Anyway, down towards turn 1. The final 2 corners, then turn 1. Of course, we've got that DRS straight in between. We've had one already, which did not bear any fruit. Where's the flap? There it is. 8 tenths back. We are incredibly far off the back of Sergio Perez, and unsurprisingly have not been able to get past him. The Red Bull still incredibly fast. I think they're on a development drive at the moment. So we'll rejoin at the end of lap 4, this time half a second behind. We can really close up through these corners. I think we've got the superior aero package and chassis as we come down towards the end of the... Oh, bit of contact there as we come down towards the end of the DRS straight and into this tricky sector 3. Lots of 90-degree corners just designed to annoy us as we come through into the final one, down towards the 2 final corners. And we're ahead. We're ahead, actually. Further back, though, Max Verstappen's managed to clear Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly, which unfortunately means that Sean Galeo has to do the job of keeping the current second-place Drivers' World Champion behind us, or behind him and us by proxy. I can hear there's a Red Bull coming up behind us quite quickly, actually. That is Sergio Perez right there. Sean Galeo doing a fantastic job right now of getting in the way, which is exactly why we hired him. But he's also pretty quick when it comes to it. You can see that. That was the run up the inside we had on Sergio Perez just now when we made the move. He did put the squeeze on us quite considerably, and we were not having any of that. Giving him little to no room, forcing him to back out of his defence. This is on board with the Mexican. You can hear us coming. He did actually start pulling away from the barrier after we put our car there, so there's some credit due for him. And now we'll see him hit the brakes partway through this corner. There it is, and he lets us through. Rejoining only a lap later on lap 5. Coming down towards the same corner that we nearly overtook Perez on there. That was not a track extend. Coming around into the DRS straight. Rather unsurprisingly, looking down the field, Christian Lundgaard moves up into 20th. Someone has either DNF'd or vanished. Oh, Daniel Ricciardo may have come into the pits. Who knows? But apparently there is a possibility that Nikita Mazepin is last at his own Grand Prix.
Box.
As we get the call to come in on lap 5. But the thought of Nikita Mazepin being right at the back at his home race is hilarious to me. As we come into the pit lane now. Apparently one of the early stoppers. There's no other crews coming out right now. Well, there's a McLaren coming in. That must be Lando Norris. And there they all are coming through. So the midfield are coming in now, trying to get the undercut on their rivals. And hopefully we don't get screwed over like we did all the way back in Monza only yesterday. And away we go. Apparently, yes, Christian Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin are running around together at the moment. Unsurprisingly, Christian Lundgaard has not allowed the Haas of Nikita Mazepin to get past. And Mazepin has to settle for an embarrassing home Grand Prix for the 3rd year in a row. As we go, try to go down the inside, we force a mistake on the Russian. Go down the inside into this 90-degree corner instead, following Christian Lundgaard through. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. We try to get around the outside there. Christian Lundgaard remembers his name is not Nikita Mazepin, and he does, in fact, open up the gap again and give us some room. Now just 5 seconds behind Jack Aitken, but of course he'll be coming into the pits sooner rather than later. Looking down the order. Will Mazepin make an overtake? He's got DRS on his teammate. No, he can't do it. In the same car, he cannot get past his own teammate. That is incredible. Good job he didn't hire him for a joke anyway. As we come round into the final few corners, a bit of a drift coming through the chicane. Verstappen appears to have come in. Our teammate seems to have come in as well, actually, because he's still dropping down the order. Sergio Perez, the race leader, still out. on the tyres that he started the race on. And where is our teammate? He's just coming out of the pit lane now. So somehow we've been able to gain an incredible amount of time just by setting the medium tyres on the car a little bit earlier. As we rejoin, apparently Pierre Gasly has just broken down and is leaving the session as we speak. And we're trying to get past. That was Jack Aitken there. And we accidentally got in his way when he came into the pit lane. I'm sure he'll forgive us. Now we chase down Antonio Giovinazzi, a man that featured quite heavily in our previous seasons as someone who would get in everyone's way as soon as they came into the pit lane. But Alfa Romeo have not been so prevalent recently, and he's been, oh my god, there, nearly run into the back of Nicholas Latifi. Yeah, Giovinazzi relegated to a nobody at the back of the field. Nicholas Latifi, of course, last time out in Monza, managed to score P5. Don't forget to go and check that video out if you haven't seen it. But we're now going to try attempt 2, getting past Giovinazzi. Into the left-hander we go, into the right-hander we go. Oh, and Giovinazzi's just come off there. We got a yellow flag on the circuit. What's going to happen now? We've got a safety car coming out. I mean, I can't imagine that it was that bad. I'm not seeing too many people dropping down the order, but let's go on board with Gio. Maybe slightly tapped his wheel there. Put him into the barrier. I'm not sure why that's a safety car, though. This was Max Verstappen trying to get past the Haas, who brake checks him. That was Nikita Mazepin. Up to his old tricks, as per usual. And this was George Russell. Okay, so that's why we have a safety car. That was a very short clip because it cut away to me again. But Giovinazzi reversed onto the track and got in everyone's way, disqualifying George Russell and Mick Schumacher and himself in the process. Daniel Ricciardo actually did pit earlier on. He is still in the race, incredibly. But because Max Verstappen got brake checked by Mazepin, he's all the way down in 16th. Somehow he's still ahead of Nikita Mazepin, though. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll just go with it. As we come round, sticking ahead of Perez now, out of turns 1, 2, 3, whatever it is anymore, down towards another set of 90-degree corners at this circuit. That was not a track extend. I've just noticed Max Verstappen is now last and is 7 seconds behind Nikita Mazepin. Something's gone on there. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And we run quite wide there. The tyres that we're on now are at least 2-3 laps older than Perez's. And Galeo's for that matter. At least a lap older than Galeo's. That Marshall waved a yellow flag for nothing. Somehow, looking down the order, Pierre Gasly and Antonio Giovinazzi have lost positions, but someone's just... Mick Schumacher's just gained one. Somehow. Not sure what's going on there. Anyway, this was Max Verstappen at the restart. Oh, but it wasn't. This was Christian Lundgaard this time. And he gets spooked coming out of turn 1 and just rolls it back onto the circuit. But Red Bull not having a great day here today. But they still got one driver in a podium position right now. And we are absolutely not doing anything that we can to back him up into our teammate. Of course, that has massively backfired. And now we're going to have to squeeze him against the barrier. Coming down towards the end of the DRS straight. We know the AI like to brake early there. And there was some kind of weird visual glitch on my screen as we come out of the corner into the S's. Once again, nice slide there. As we come around towards the final 2 corners, Perez actually dropped back quite significantly. Did he get damaged there? Was that what I saw on my screen? Galel takes second place. Esteban Ocon up into third. Are we going to see another team from the midfield get on the podium? I mean, even if McLaren do it, they haven't been on the podium this season. This was Perez. He goes down the inside. We put the squeeze on him, but he holds his own. Fair play to him. And then we get down towards the end of the DRS straight, and he just doesn't brake. Okay. Well, that was certainly a surprise at the time. We'll go on board with our teammate now. Sean Galale, currently 4 tenths behind us. 5 tenths. He's not the fastest through there, which is good for us because we can give him the DRS tow and then drop him back there with Esteban Ocon, who it looks to be set to pick up 3rd place on the podium. As we come round the final 4 corners to go, we rejoin us. Another slide down. The tyres absolutely screaming at us to be changed. But it's going to be the second 1-2 since the formation of the team for Radiant Racing. As we come round the final corner, we tried to have a massive accident, but it hasn't worked, and we crossed the line. Esteban Ocon picking up a very commendable 3rd place. He does get driver of the day as well. Nicholas Latifi, though, not picking up second. A lot of points here in Russia. As we see, undisclosed man waiting, and we celebrate for the 2nd time with our teammates on the top 2 steps of the podium, as the likes of Tiamat Marduk, who's somehow in our garage as a mechanic, shakes hands with other people. There's supposed to be Arava here somewhere, but I have no idea where. It doesn't look like him if he is in the game, as we distribute illegal copies of the F1 game in a last-ditch attempt to make sales before the new game is released. We celebrate with our teammate once again, and on the podium, the Frenchman of Esteban Ocon. Let's get on with the final results. And here are the final results. Of course, we know already that we achieved a 1-2 finish. Esteban Ocon picks up the final place on the podium for Alpine. Then we have Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, Valtteri Bottas and Yuki Tsunoda rounding out the final point scorers. Fastest lap presumably going to Sergio Perez or Max Verstappen. Over in the Drivers' Championship, we remain at the top of the leaderboard ahead of our rival Max Verstappen, extending our lead now back to 29 points. Then it's a big leap back to his teammate Sergio Perez in 3rd, who's now had the gap closed to our teammate Sean Galale in 4th, now only 11 points behind. Then we have Lewis Hamilton about to break into the triple digits in 5th, followed by Valtteri Bottas. Then we have Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, 2 teammates at McLaren, tied for 7th, followed by Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz rounding out the top 10. Not far behind we have Yuki Tsunoda in P11, then Fernando Alonso, shortly followed by Charles Leclerc, and then joining 40th place, overtaking Nicholas Latifi, is Esteban Ocon. Then we have Nicholas Latifi, Lance Stroll and Jack Aitken rounding out the final point scorers, followed by George Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, Christian Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And finally, over in the Constructors, we've retaken the lead once again over our rivals Red Bull, now 18 points ahead of them. Then it's a big leap back again to Mercedes in a very comfortable 3rd. McLaren still remain 4th ahead of their rivals AlphaTauri and Ferrari, with Alpine slowly catching up in 7th. Then we have Williams, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo and Haas to complete the rest of the field. We'll catch you in the next one.